What can buyers and sellers expect from the housing market in 2023 here in Fairfield County, Connecticut? That's what I'm going to talk about today. My name is Jennifer Lockwood. I'm a local realtor with Coldwell Banker here in Fairfield, Connecticut. And if it's the first time to my channel, make sure you hit subscribe and the bell to be notified of any upcoming videos. Also follow me on Instagram where I post regularly. There are some elements in the 2022 market that will continue into 2023, and then some challenges we won't have anymore. So let's get down to the predictions and where we were in 2022. The housing market in 2022 was known as the year of the accelerated mortgage interest rates, of inflation and the Fed policy trying to curb inflation. The market was still fast in this area and inventory was still low. That is what was driving the market and why it was still continuing to be fast and why home prices still continued to rise. You can see from these statistics of a few of the towns that home prices continue to do double-digit increases, and this all had to do with lack of supply. Even though mortgage rates went up, we still had a high demand of people wanting to buy in this area. Connecticut has now on the map since the pandemic, more so than before, because of lifestyle changes. People from New York and New Jersey saw it as a viable option, especially with lifestyle changes and working from home. Connecticut was a new place that they could move to and be able to work from. It became a hotspot for many buyers. And while you read and hear about the national headlines, they come on my feed every day about home prices dropping, inventory increasing, could there be a housing crash? It's really just noise. And if you get anything out of this video, please understand that real estate is local. And what is happening in our local market is not what is always happening nationally. So understanding the local market will help you in deciding whether you're going to buy or sell into the new year. I am personally focused on 2023 and helping my buyers and sellers navigate through this market. So I want to give you a breakdown of where we are, where we've been, and where we're expecting to go in 2023. Let's first talk about mortgage rates and its prediction into 2023. We saw an unusual rise in interest rates in 2022. It was 3% at the beginning of the year, and it went up to 7% towards the end of the year. And that had a lot to do with the Fed policy of being aggressive and increasing the federal funds rate, which impacts long-term mortgage rates over time. So we had a huge rise in mortgage interest rates, which did affect some buyers to pull back for a bit to understand where the volatility was and where we were going to land. Also affected their home affordability because now a house that they were able to buy at 3% changed in mortgage payment when you're now paying a 7% interest rate. When looking at the top mortgage predictions with Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and Mortgage Bankers Association, all of them are ranging that we will have an average between 6 and 6.5 throughout the year. I mean, interest rates are always going to be volatile, but they are going to calm down. We are not expected to see over that 7% interest rate. And that's because for the last 2 months, we have seen inflation come down. And that's a pattern we hope will continue, because as long as inflation continues to decrease, then the Fed policy will also not be as aggressive and the mortgage interest rates will stabilize. Now here's a graph of what Fannie Mae is predicting, and you can see they're ranging from this 6.5 to 6.0 by the end of the year, and the lower rate is towards the end of the year. Number 2 is low inventory. This is a problem that we had in 2022, and actually ever since the pandemic. Inventory has slowly been coming on the market and has been absorbed quickly by the market. And you can see that in days on market and how quickly in this area houses still are selling, because we are still quite a bit below inventory even from just a year ago. In Fairfield, we are 19% below last year. In Westport, we're 26.8% lower in inventory. And in Easton, we are 23% below inventory from just a year ago. So you can see that the inventory is a struggle. One of the reasons for that is that before the pandemic, people would buy and sell their home. They would buy it and sell at the same time. So all of those people that would normally be buying a house and selling their home, they are not on the market. And that's because they are having a hard time buying a house to upgrade because they're competing with other offers. Many of these houses still will be getting multiple offers, and they're getting cash offers, no contingencies. And when you have to sell your house to buy another house, you're not even in the running. So many of these people that would normally sell are not selling. Plus, these are the same people who now have probably refinanced and have a mortgage around 3%. So why would they sell their house at 3% to get a 7% mortgage interest rate? Sometimes you're going to have to move anyway because of jobs or relocation or just the house, you just have to move. But in many cases, that's why many of these people are just kind of hunkered down and waiting the market out. The prediction for 2023 is still going to be a struggle for inventory. So until we see that number changing, it's going to take a while to get a balanced market in this area. When you look at a balanced market, it's 6 months of inventory. And right now we are, for the entire Fairfield County, are at 2.3 months of inventory. That is below the 6 months and still considered a seller's market. The next item that may change going into 2023 is when you put an offer in, having contingencies again. In 2022, many people were dropping the mortgage contingency in order to compete with cash. And we also had some people dropping the inspection contingency. But even if you had an inspection, many times the buyers did not even negotiate. They did it for information only. They took the house as is because they wanted the house. They were competing for it with multiple offers. Now, going into 2023, we are not expecting the frenzy of multiple offers. Honestly, I'm still seeing multiple offers on homes that are in desirable areas and move-in condition. But there are homes on the market that you can negotiate with now. Ones that have been on for a little while, maybe not the most desirable area, or a house that might need some work and not priced quite appropriately. In those situations, buyers have a little bit more power where they are doing their inspections, and we are in a place where buyers can ask for things again in an inspection, items that may come up that are concerning or material. And then home contingencies. Now, we haven't seen this at all in the last couple of years, and I just sold a home where they had to sell their home and buy a home. So it is starting to enter the market a little bit. That is something that is coming back into the market. Hopefully we will see more of this in 2023. And having these contingencies and more time to breathe is good news for home buyers because it's giving you the opportunity to almost take a breath and think about your decision as opposed to what we were experiencing the last couple of years. So it's good news for home buyers, even though we're not quite at a balanced market yet, and it's still considered a seller's market in this area. They have a little bit more time to think about things and contemplate the house that they're deciding to purchase. And the last big question is, will home prices fall? It's a question I get all of the time. If you see it in the news, talk about home prices falling. In this local area, we are not at all expecting home prices to fall. And that is all driven by lack of inventory and high demand. We have millennials turning 34 years old. We have Gen Z entering the market. People still want to downsize, upgrade, and this area is now on the map and people want to move to Connecticut. We are not expecting home prices to change. We're expecting them to continue to increase nominally compared to what we've seen the last couple of years. So real estate is still a great option in this area, whether you're going to buy or sell. I did previous videos on moving to this area if you want to know what the location is like. Also reach out to me if you want more detailed information on this particular market and how I can help you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.